want nobody just with you right now. But the truth, I look better under you. I get lost when I'm with you. How can us lose and miss the moment that you just too important? Nobody.
Hey guys, it's Indy. Welcome back to my channel. And let's make some coffee first. Hold on. Okay, so let's get into it. So basically, as you guys seen in my shorts video, I recently had a house fire, and actually I live in an apartment, but yeah, so I don't know all of the details as far as how the fire transpired, but I do want to just share my experience, what I learned, and the things that nobody told me. So like I said, I can't really speak on the cause of how it happened, but I can speak on, of course, my experience and everything that I went through in the situation. So basically, it happened last month, so it hasn't even been a month yet since this has happened. But like I said, I do want to just share my experience and just give awareness to people as well who may not have been in this situation before, or who has been in this situation before, and just kind of how to cope and deal with it. Because like I said, I always say on my platform that this is a journey, that we're all on this journey together. And so anyways, so basically what happened was I was very sick that day. So I ended up having a flu, or not really a flu, but a really bad cold. And so I ended up taking NyQuil that night. It was I want to say it was 7:15 or something at night, and I ended up taking the NyQuil. And obviously my boyfriend was there with me, and he ended up taking it as well. And so we went to bed. We took it, the NyQuil, we went to bed, obviously, and we fell asleep. And all of a sudden, I thought I was dreaming. And you know how with NyQuil, it makes you super drowsy and just kind of foggy. So I thought I was dreaming this whole time in this experience. When we were sleeping, I kept hearing banging and hysterical crying and yelling. And I just remember thinking oh, this is just a dream, whatever. And then all of a sudden we heard the fire alarm. So I'm laying next to my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, wake up. I think it's a fire. I don't know. And so we both kind of just scrambled and hurried up and obviously put clothes on and just try and think in a panic situation like this. And so obviously when you're in a fire, you kind of can't really grab your sentimental things. You really just have to get out and go. And so basically I remember I literally could not find pants. I was searching my apartment for a pair of pants. And it was just hurry up, come on. And so once we got to the front door of my apartment, I was trying to grab my shoes, and so I couldn't really see, so I just grabbed whatever. But when I got to the front of the door, I had my shoes in my hand, right? And so when we opened the door, the apartment door, to go into the hallway, it was thick smoke. You literally could not see anything. You can see if somebody was super close to you, and that was it. And so I remember having my shoes in my hand, and I'm trying to hurry up and put my shoes on. They were mixed matched on my feet. I literally was trying to put my shoes on. My whole body was shaking. I was completely hysterical in the moment. And so I just remember, like I said, I just remember seeing like a ton of smoke and just to get out, like the exit, basically, the exit outside of my apartment. And so, you know, I'm following my boyfriend and like he's telling me like, you know, get down, like get low, like you're supposed to get low and like try and cover your mouth. And like it just was not like registering in the moment. Like it wasn't clocking. It was not clocking to me. It literally was not. And so like I have a history of asthma, and so like I took a deep breath, like a deep breath. And so I knew once we finally got outside and into fresh air that I'm like, oh dang, I think I inhaled like a ton of smoke. And so once we got outside, we waited in the car, and we waited for the coast to be clear. You know, everybody was outside, like everybody that lived in my apartment, they were outside. And after a while, you know, they said you can go back upstairs. So we went upstairs, checked out like the apartment, make sure that nothing was damaged. And at the time, nothing was damaged. And so, you know, the firefighters just told us, you know, just open up like the windows and stuff and like whatever. And so, something was not sitting right with me. Like I just was not like comfortable to like go back into like and sleep there that night, you know, in light of everything that just happened. It just, I don't know, something just was not sitting right with me. And so we ended up getting a hotel that night, and we got the hotel, and then the next morning we go back to the apartment and literally another fire happened. Like insane. Like it's not funny, but like literally insane. So, and obviously that second fire was what like destroyed everybody's property. And so yeah, and like I said, it's still pretty unknown and like we don't know like what happened or how, you know, it transpired, and I don't even know if they would like disclose that information. But as of right now, we still don't know any information on that. So yeah. Next day I ended up going to the doctors, and that's when they told me and said that you have smoke inhalation. And so I already was dealing with that cold on top of it, and so it ended up being smoke inhalation, and then I also had bronchitis as well. And so it wasn't a fun experience like at all, and I really just experienced like chest tightness. And like I said, I was already I already have a history of asthma, and so I was dealing with that as well. And so, you know, they prescribed, and I already had like my inhaler and stuff, and so that is what helped. And also breathing exercises, believe it or not, can help with that, like just clearing your lungs. So that has been really helpful as well. But it does go away after a while, like it's not a forever thing. But as far as like what I learned like afterwards, like dealing with smoke inhalation, is that it is so crucial, and like I explained this in my shorts video, that you cover your mouth and that you get low. And I know that a lot of people in panic situations like this don't really think, and we kind of forget about the basics that they kind of taught us. Like if you're on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. When, you know, if you are in a fire or around smoke, that you cover your face and get low, and that's where the cleanest air is on the floor. And like I said, I think we kind of lose those things like when we're in a fight or flight situation. So, but also just give yourself grace too, that yes, this is a traumatic experience, and like not many people experience house fires or apartment fires. So, you know, it's okay if you do panic in these situations. I feel like that is normal, but you do need to be safe as well, and you obviously have to put yourself first and your health first. And so that is definitely what I learned in this experience. So as far as like the emotional and mental part of it all for me has been somewhat difficult, and just to be like vulnerable and totally transparent with you guys, like it's been a process, and I'm still in that processing phase that this just happened, and like I can't believe that this happened. But I know that eventually it will get better, and with time it'll get better, and you know, you'll and I will start to heal from this situation. But the emotional toll is a lot, but there always is a silver lining in all of this. And so, you know, just as far as like my experience goes and what I've been like feeling lately is I'm like super aware, like hyper aware of everything, like sounds, like just smells even like can trigger it a little bit. And so just to kind of be graceful with myself and realize that, okay, I'm going through a tough time right now. I'm going through a transition also. So just kind of give myself some grace, and it's okay to feel all of my emotions because all of them are valid. And so even if you're like going through something similar or if not the same, or even something totally different, to give yourself grace in these situations, because any traumatizing situation is a mental toll. And so your feelings are always going to be valid, I feel like. So give yourself some grace. And I'm going to give myself some grace because, girl, it's been a lot. As far as like, I guess like the disruption on my life, I'm not going to get too personal about things. But as far as like, you know, just losing your belongings kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not really a big materialistic person, but, you know, even like the sentimental things, you know, that you have, you know, it just kind of sucks to like lose those things. But at the end of the day, they are just things and they are materialistic. And the most important thing is that I'm alive and that, you know, everybody in my apartment building is alive. Like no one was injured or anything, thankfully. And so, you know, the material things, they come and they go. So it's not something to tie our hearts to so much. And like, I also am learning that as well, because I did hold certain things so close to my heart, but to not like wire that attachment to things so much anymore is what I'm learning. So, but anyway, regardless though, those were my belongings, and of course, like, you know, they're gone now. And so we are in the process of rebuilding my closet. So I guess in a way it's like a silver lining in that, because we get to buy new clothes. And obviously stay tuned for future hauls if you made it this far in the video. But yeah, so that has been an adjustment for sure, just the fact that just rebuying everything all over again. But you know, I just feel like if somebody is like brought down like super low, that it's only up from here. And like God has a plan for you and for me, you know. So I kind of try not to like too much emotionally let it bother me, but to remind ourselves that, you know, things will get better. Like it always will get better. Okay, so on the renter's insurance side of it all, which, oh my gosh, like don't even get me started. Girl, all I know, one thing is for sure, which I did have renter's insurance, but one thing is for sure, number one thing, make sure you have renter's insurance. Number two is make sure you learn your policy. That is like so important. I literally cannot stress that enough. Like make sure you know exactly what your policy is about, because that is very important. And you know, not everybody remembers or thinks like that's something traumatic, like this is gonna happen, but it is so important that we check our policies. And so my other thing is that make sure you keep your receipts for everything. And that is just like a general thing, I feel like, because I did not do this, but moving forward, to keep your receipts for literally all of your belongings, because you never know. I hope that this does not happen to anybody, but you never know. And so It's good to keep your receipts for things. It's good to also take pictures of everything before and after if you are in a situation like this, and just document everything, you know, just so you have it on record for not only yourself, but I mean, not only for the company, but for yourself as well, just to have. And so from that is definitely what I learned, because girl, yeah, just make sure you keep your receipts and you take pictures. If you don't do anything else, make sure you do those things. And renter's insurance, please make sure you get that renter's insurance, okay? So just basically like a quick recap. So just want to say, know your insurance policy. Your mental health is super important, so please make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. I don't care what situation you're going through, please make sure your mental health is taken care of, whether that's therapy, whether that's journaling, whether that's talking to a friend, family, whatever. Please make sure that you're getting all of those I don't know, burdens or thoughts out, even if you write it on the paper. You know, just make sure you're taking care of your mental health. And also, of course, if you are in a situation like this, and seriously, God forbid, but remember to cover your mouth and get low to the ground. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I don't really know. Yeah, but just know that healing isn't instant. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. So just give yourself some grace in that as well. And so, yeah, all things will work together for good. So you made it to the end of the video. I am just sharing my experience because I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through blindly. And just always protect your peace. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you are in a safe environment as much as you can, of course. I mean, I know we can't control outside factors, but just make sure you're putting your safety first. And if you have been in a situation like this where, you know, it's pretty traumatic, you know, just know that you're not alone. And I definitely understand what you're going through because I'm going through it too. But it will get better, and just you're not alone. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative. I hope you learned something from this video. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, make sure everything's good. Okay, hey! Restart.